brothers and sisters, good morning. First, I will give and greet to my greatest mentor, the only teacher of the greatest institution of the Father's treasure, the supreme founder of the kingdom of God in the New Jerusalem, and also the founding chairman of the Royal Alpha Omega Ring Trading Corporation, His Majesty, the King of Kings, Supreme King FILEMON O.REAMBONANZA. My topic now is about what is Dapitan according to the plan of God. Before I will start my topic today, may I introduce myself. I'm George L. Tizon from Pasig City, NCR, Manila. Now, if we will talk about Dapitan City, we begin at the time when Jacob was born, because the exact time begins in his life. Jacob was born in negative 73. Before he entered Egypt, Jacob lived 130 years in Israel. And that was in negative 73 to positive 57. This was at the time of Joseph, when he became a governor of Egypt. 17 years after Jacob arrived in Egypt, he died. The family of Jacob lived in Egypt within 430 years. So it was at the time of Moses. In short, they got out of Egypt in the year 487. Positive. From this year, we will count 480 years. And that was at the time when Solomon constructed the temple. In other words, Solomon began the construction in 967. This was the 4th year of Solomon's reign. So Solomon became again in the year 963. Now, King Solomon had 37 years to finish the 1,000 positive year. Since Solomon reigned the kingdom in 40 years, so he had 3 years which was already in the negative 1,000 years. If we will subtract negative 3 from negative 1,000 years, the answer is negative 997. This number of years will be subtracted from 2,520 years, which is the 20th time of God. We will have the answer 1,523 years, or 1523 in short. This was the time when God bestowed the kingdom to the nation which became a Christian nation. In this regards, God sent a priest on March 16, 1521 in order to Christianize the Filipino, for the kingdom of God should be given to the nation in which Christianity abided. Now, we cannot profoundly deny that the Philippines is the abode of Christian people who are struggling for salvation, whether in group or individual. We learn very well that the Philippines became the Christian nation on April 14, 1521, 2 years before God gave the kingdom in 1523. It is very clear to mention the kingdom of God because the year 1523 is the repetition of history of the real and true kingdom of God at the time of King Solomon, during his last hour and negative 997. The biblical history reveals that the creation of Adam should be in the twin, should be in the island surrounded by two branches of rivers, Tigris and Euphrates. River. This is precisely called Mesopotamia. From the Greek language, Mesopo, which means an island between two branches of rivers. In a vivid narration, after the creation of Adam, God rested in the seventh day. Since one day of God is equal to 1,000 years of man, so Adam should be in the Garden of Eden and live there the same time as God rested. But before the years ended, Adam committed sin. In the year 821, Adam committed sin. So God completely erased Mesopotamia after the 20th generation. at the time of Abraham. So the plan of God was carried by Abraham and Canaan. Many years passed by that Jesus was born in Bethlehem. His human flesh was chosen so that Christ could humanly speak to the people for the preparation of his third week in this world. Many Jews did not believe him, so he took away the kingdom of God and gave it to the nation which became Christian in 1523. From this time, 40 years should be counted off. And Adam, who could give the life to the people, should appear. 40 years. This was in the time of 1563 that Adam came to the Philippines in the person of Dato. Pagbuaya. Since Adam lived in Mesopotamia, which was surrounded by two branches of rivers, so with the new Mesopotamia, is also surrounded by two branches of rivers called Pulo River and Liburan River. According to the plan of God, the place should be discovered 40 years after the repetition of history of King Solomon. The history repeated in 1523. 40 years after Dato Pagbuaya reached Dapitan in 1563. Counting from it, the remaining 390 years. The answer is 1953. When Dato Pagbuaya spiritually returned in Dapitan. 10 years after, the town of Dapitan became a city under the penmanship of President Macapagal. On June 22, 1963, in Republic Act number 3811. another 10 years that followed, the Dapitan city became the shrine city under the signature of President Marcos, Ferdinand Marcos, on January 24, 1973, and Presidential Decree 105. In this juncture, Dapitan City, which is now Dapitan Shrine City, is the new Mesopotamia, where the second Adam, who personified Datu Pagbuaya in 1563, will come back to Dapitan City. I ask the second question: what is Dapitan according to the plan of God? The answer is Dapitan City, which is now Dapitan Shrine City, is the new Mesopotamia, which is now rebuilt by the King of Kings, His Majesty, King Philemon, O.REAMBONANZA, the supreme founder of the kingdom of God in the New Jerusalem. Thank you. Good morning.